Hi, wrestling fans. Thanks for clicking today's dreaded D-Rose report. All right, we got a lot going on here. Let's see if I can not get it all in. Hey, Stamford, Connecticut, Bulletin. February 5th, 2013. WWE on YouTube hits 1 million subscribers. Yes, well, what is today? The 6th? Yeah, yesterday. Anyway, it surpasses popular YouTube channels such as ESPN, HBO, Comedy Central, Discovery Networks, and Apple, furthering WWE's position as one of the world's most social brands. WWE has sent out a 340% increase in subscribers over the past year. I think about a year ago or so, they probably didn't have none, if I were close to none. So by increasing that much, that's... You only have one subscriber, and this year you got 2, 100%. Fantastic. WWE premieres almost 30 hours of original programming in 2012 with such things as Backstage Fallout, Outside the Ring, WWE Inbox, WWE Download, and Z, the True Long Island story. Since launching its official YouTube channel in 2010, they were in there in 10. No. My fault. WWE has not only increased dozens of hours of programming, which also hosts exclusive matches as well as live, pre-shows for its pay-per-view events. Almost 500 million views. WWE has more views than Showtime, ABC News, ESPN, UFC, and myself. In addition, WWE fans watch more than 1.5 billion WWE clips in a year across YouTube. Now, as far as I know, it's free. Now, what you got to put up with is some advertising, commercials, and stuff like that. They must be making some money off of the commercials because it's free to us. Kinda. WWE continues to be a leader in the digital, I'm getting done with this, as one of the 15 most influential brands in social media. WWE has more than 139 million combined social media followers across 10 social media networks. There. Now their hair should be standing on the back of their neck. WWE tryouts at NXT this past weekend were described as grueling as hell and very physical. One wrestler noted that it was the toughest time of his life. Hey, try being married 5 times. Yeah, you think of that. Hey, one talent paid to be in the tryouts quit in the middle of the first day. And there were 10 to 14 injuries suffered over the weekend. And sources noted that most of the guys that got hurt were non-wrestling guys who came in thinking they were tough guys. And they weren't. No word yet on... anyway, who's going to be offered deals or anything? Nothing official. They'll be doing something in the next 2 to 4 weeks, mentioning who made it. Popular wrestlers who attended the tryouts included Ring of Honor TV champ Adam Cole, Maria's boyfriend Mike Bennett, and DG USA star Samurai del Sol, independent wrestler Ricky Reyes, Northeastern wrestler Smith James, which sounds backwards to me, and Luke Hawx from Extreme Rising. And there was talks that Sami Callihan was there, but nothing confirmed. All right, WWE will be inducting a celebrity into this year's Hall of Fame class, and there's actual talk of inducting, believe it or not, Madison Square Garden as a building. This year's class is going to be larger than usual. That would be the ideal place, I would think, to put in the WWE Hall of Fame. It's just me. And within TNA Impact, talking about their show going on the road, WWE's been, this is kind of a rumor, that WWE's been contacting some major areas to put holds on them for future dates. At least one person with WWE thinks that if TNA begins going on the road every Thursday, WWE may change their touring schedule to Thursday, Friday, Saturday for at least one of those brands. And there's internal talk that WWE will put some arena dates on hold to make sure TNA doesn't get into them. WWE may also enforce some of their non-compete clauses so TNA can't run in the same buildings they do, which I can't see WWE even having a damn fit about them being in a building that they're in, because usually WWE's got 10,000 or more seats, and TNA, I don't know how their, I know their non-live events is only 300, 500, maybe 800 people. Couldn't afford to go in a big one. They're not, they can't be afraid of TNA. It can't be. It's just an alternative. For right now. Anyway, there's reports that a local radio station in New Orleans leaked out news on Wednesday that WWE's WrestleMania 30 is going to be held at the Superdome there. Kind of expect something to be mentioned at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, so we'll see if that happens. The big announcement. And PWI Insider reported earlier this week that they continue to go back and forth on WrestleMania locations, and that New Orleans was not 100% official. And forces within WWE believe WrestleMania 30 should be held at Madison Square Garden. But more people in the company believe that WWE has already set the standard for holding a WrestleMania at bigger stadiums. Plus the argument that the New York area is getting WrestleMania this year anyway. All right, Bruno Sammartino is going to be going into another Hall of Fame this year. It's the International Sports Hall of Fame. WWE's Mark Henry. He's already there. He was there last year. And NXT head trainer Bill DeMott says women's trainer Sarah Del Rey is doing big things with WWE Developmental Divas. He says, really good day. Sarah Del Rey is doing marvelous work with the NXT Divas. Let's find out. Let's see. Triple H should be returning to WWE real soon as a regular as we get closer to WrestleMania 29, because noted before, Triple H is booked for post-WrestleMania SmackDown tapings from Boston, but he's also being booked for Raw in East Rutherford, New Jersey that week. And because they got to build up a storyline, he's got to help Vince out. Poor Vince laying there. I don't know if you went on my Facebook page, but I got Vince laying there in a hospital bed, pre-surgery, with that little shower cap looking thing on his head, giving us the one finger salute. Kind of neat to look at for a minute. Hey, Best Buy exclusive version of WWE's Best of WCW Monday Night Nitro 2 DVD disc set comes out next week. It's going to be featuring 2 extra matches, Sting versus Bret Hart from '98, and Rey Mysterio and Lord Steven Regal taking on Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero from 1997. And these matches come standard on the UK and Australian DVD, but not in the States. So we'll put it on YouTube so we can watch it, you guys. Fans in the US can only get these 2 matches through Best Buy. Oh, I see. You can put it on there anyway if you want. And update on Vince McMahon and his hip surgery. WWE noted that Vince is resting at home and there's no timetable for his TV return yet. Noted before, Vince was backstage in Monday's Raw on crutches, but working like usual. Just wasn't doing any jogging. And WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart, he tweeted the following about his knee surgery. He said, had knee surgery yesterday, for those who's wondering, feeling pretty good around this time. Thank you all for your love and support. He showed they had a picture on YouTube too, if you can find it. His scar, they cut his knee open about that long, and he says now he's got matching scars. Isn't that nice? All right, Chris Jericho's now scheduled for WWE, all of WWE Raws and SmackDowns from March 11th through WrestleMania. And Jericho's going to be making WWE TV, taking off of TV February 23rd until March 4th, as Fozzy is going to be touring Australia. Jericho and the band will return from Europe April 11th for another tour that runs through that month. And as noted before, Ric Flair, he will be, now next week's episode, I haven't watched this, I'd like to see it sometime, Lizard Lick Towing on True TV. The stars of the show work security and ended up hiring a celebrity. which turns out to be Flair. The episode is Monday, 10 p.m. I think I get True TV. Not sure. WWE taped the following matches for in Jacksonville for SmackDown. No spoiler. Kofi Kingston taking on Rhodes. Titus O'Neil taking on Kyle Lee. Big Show taking on Kane. And McIntyre taking on Tensai. Kara taking on Cesaro. And Orton taking on Mark Henry. It's going to be good. You know, Randy must be going to be taking some time off because he's losing off a lot of matches lately. Or just DQs or something, but I would think he's going to be around through WrestleMania and probably take some time off. Hey, World Heavyweight Champion Del Rio and Rodriguez, his partner's been playing up their SmackDown. Now, they're suspended. I don't know if you knew that. Here's what they said on Twitter. It said they're teasing that they will have a big surprise, big show on Friday despite being suspended from the show. All right, Booker T. He was speaking to adults at the Quad County Urban League in Aurora, Illinois, and students at the Paul Robeson High School in Chicago this weekend, as well as inmates at the Cook County Juvenile Temporary Detention in Chicago, which he should have had his hands full there. Booker T, you got your wallet still? Huh? Booker T is promoting a book, From Prison to Promise, and talking to people about the direction and focus away from the negative influences like bullying and wrestling. A former WWE diva Skylar Moon, or Buggy Nova, says she will be getting back into wrestling soon. I didn't know she was in it to begin with. I just read something about it, but I haven't seen her anywhere. She said, no, not doing anything wrestling related right now until March. Hope you're in Tampa to see what I'm up to. I'm not. Let me know. Mark Henry defeated Randy Orton in the world's with the world's strongest slam main event on last night's SmackDown taping from Jacksonville. Henry's now has a spot on SmackDown Elimination Chamber, believe it or not, coming up. Oh, that was a spoiler. Sorry. No, I'm not. Hey, the match now consists of Henry, Orton, Mysterio, and Bryant so far. Two more superstars are going to earn the spot in the match. The winner's going to be facing the heavyweight champion, WrestleMania 29. Tensai congratulated his former manager. I don't know if you knew this. Did you know Tensai had a manager? Yep. I know he had a chauffeur or whatever for a while. You remember who his manager was? It was Trish Stratus years ago. He says, big congrats Trish, on being inducted to the Hall of Fame. Okay, where was I at? Hey, big congrats for Trish Stratus. Big old Albert had to say to Trish for becoming, getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. We're going to be inducted. And Trish replied, she says, I couldn't have done it without you or our support. Okay, former WWE diva Eve Torres, she's in Phoenix, Arizona this week, teaching Gracie survival tactics to law enforcement officers. Ooh. It was reported last week that Diva Page was injured at Full Sail University taping. She's back in training this week. She says, nothing can stop me, training time. Atta girl. And WWE Hall of Famer is going to be Ric Flair. He's going to be appearing at next Monday's episode of Lizard Lake Towing on True TV. I already told you that. I don't know why I told you again. So I'll tell you again. A former WWE superstar, Gene Snitsky, will play the lead role in a new horror film. What else would he be? He couldn't make a comedy, I don't think. Anyway, it's called Manhunt. Snitsky is going to be playing a former pro wrestler who encounters an inbred on an island. The man tries to kill Snitsky and his friends. Don't tell me Snitsky's starring in this. Anyway, years ago, Manhunt, I remember when I had the video store, that was the original title of, I believe, Silence of the Lambs. I don't think that's got anything to do with this, but anyway, the story is the former wrestler down on his luck for years after tragedy forces him out of the ring and has to stand tall to save himself and friends from an inbreed. Filming begins soon. And as noted earlier, Dolph Ziggler, AJ Lee, Big A Langston worked a dark main event after last night's, Monday's Raw from Atlanta. Didn't appear on the live broadcast, though. F4W Online reports that Raw's script was changed around. I guess WWE officials didn't have a spot for this week for Ziggler, largely because of other storylines being pushed. Both Cena and Ryder commented on Twitter as Ryder's Hosky single continues to experience success on iTunes. Cena says, if Zack Ryder and Hosky breaks top 50 on the charts, I may eat 50 Pop-Tarts covered with Fruity Pebbles, then make up my own poop chart. Which I still sit at number 2, he says. Now go download Hosky. Anyway, Ryder says, when your company doesn't believe in you, you start your YouTube show, and when that stops working, write a song. Still swinging, he says. And David Otunga is going to be appearing on tomorrow's episode of, I don't know what day it's on. It could be today. Episode of In Session on HLN TV, discussing the Jodi Arias murder trial. Getting that, using some of that law school stuff. Last night's Raw, by the way, averaged around 4.8 million viewers. Hey, football's not on now, so get them numbers up. 4.8 million viewers, making it the most watched show on cable TV for that night. Hour 1 did a 4.86 million viewers. Hour 2 did a 4.86 million viewers. They made him hold on. Final hour did a 4.71 million viewers. Final rating is going to be out later, but it's somewhere between 3.2, 3.4. But lost a little bit at the tail end. And people backstage are talking about Raw last night. The return of Christian. He's been out with an injury. He is expected back real soon. This week's episode of Raw scored 294,000 in social media activity, down 25% of post Royal Rumble episode last week. And the adorable Anthony Andrews and marvelous Michael Stevens were both fans used in the CM Punk promo on this week's Raw. Both were call-ins that are active in Georgia independent wrestling scene, just to let you know who they are. And I'll let you know too. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.